came out of the short-term rental discussion, and we also had police officers there who were addressing the troubled homes that we had, in particular, a particular home in, I believe, in the South Torrance area, in a big home which is constantly being rented out by party animals, I'll call them. And then the police officers gave us a response. The key difference is being a good short-term rental location or a unit or not is when it's owner occupied and owner supervised. That means an owner is on the property. For example, someone here has a 4-bedroom house and you have a spare bedroom. The way I look at it is long-term rental, we don't regulate the person renting out their home. Short-term rental, the way I look at it, think of your children or grandchildren who grew up in your house. Or you have visitors for Christmas who comes in for a weekend. It could be a relative, could be a grandchild, it could be one of your own children who comes in now that they're grown up after coming back from school. They come back and they live there for free. You're there with them. So if they come back and they decide to say, hey Dad, I'm gonna pay you $100 a day for living here. My next door neighbor doesn't care, and they shouldn't care, because I am there with them. That's how I look at the short-term rental, when there's owner occupied supervising. And that's one reason why I decided to go for it. It's very well managed.
Thank you very much. Let's see, I have a couple questions here that are concerning upcoming measures that will be on the ballot. So Councilmember Chen, you'll be first up for the first question. Are you for or against Measure X, the blocking sales tax measure? And why?
I am for that one. As a matter of fact, I am the one that moved it to 3/4% as opposed to 0.5%. So I'll go on record saying I was the guy who suggested that. And you call it blocking measure, I call it the risk mitigation measure. Going back again, many things in life is about risk. We will not act upon it if the resident of Torrance votes for it. So it's not a vote for a tax increase. It's a risk mitigation measure so that we are not victims. When an outside agency comes in and gets a tax measure approved at the county level, we will be forced to pay that increased tax. That tax revenue, we will only get a fraction of that coming to the city for our benefits. If we pass this measure, if another agency comes in to put another tax measure at the county level, at that moment, then we put in our tax increase, which is something we would have to have paid anyways. The big difference is that tax revenue will all stay in the city of Torrance. So again, we have to measure our risk and pick the best value forward. So if you think of it as risk mitigation, it's not a vote to increase tax. We want to make sure that is clear. It is a vote so that we do not become a victim of a tax increase.
Thank you. Okay, Councilmember Rizzo, same question for you. Are you for or against Measure X, the blocking sales tax measure, and why?
As proposed, I'm for it. Simply because it helps us maintain local control and local return. As Councilman Chen said, if there's another measure on the ballot and it passes countywide, and let's say everybody in the city of Torrance voted against it, but it passed countywide, we would still have to pay that sales tax. And that sales tax would go into a general pool and we would see very little of that money. So what we're saying is that with this measure is that, okay, let us put in a measure where we're approving 0.75% sales tax, which takes us to the maximum rate of 10.25%. Once we're at that level, we don't pay any more sales tax on anything. But what we're saying is if this measure passes, that we will not automatically impose that 3/4%. We have to wait until somebody else tries to come and take that money away from us with another sales tax measure. So let's say we pass the measure, we don't impose our 3/4% because we need a trigger, something to trigger it. Let's say in the November ballot, the County of Los Angeles comes in and qualifies a sales tax measure for the ballot. At that point, that's the triggering event. At that point, then we would submit to the state of California to start collecting our 3/4%. That money, 100% of it comes back to the city of Torrance. We make the decisions on how that money is spent, not somebody else. So that's helping maintain local control and local return for the city of Torrance. So that's why I support the measure. The measure, it may not kick in. It may not kick in 6 months, it may not kick in for a year and a half. It all depends on somebody else qualifying the measure on the ballot.
Thank you very much. Okay, also, in terms of a ballot initiative, and Councilmember Wizard, this is for you first. Are you for or against measures J and Q, which change the city treasurer and city clerk to be appointed versus elected positions, and why?
I support both of those charter amendments. I'll address the city clerk's position first, is that currently our current city clerk is not opposed to it. She thinks it would be a good idea, but when we look at the history of the city clerks, we're finding that is becoming a professional position. The clerks need to have training, they need to have knowledge in various areas. And as an elected position, we run the risk of somebody that is very popular in the community running for a position that they may know nothing about and wind up getting elected, and we could have problems with them not knowing the first thing about being a city clerk. But yet they are the elected city clerk, and it could have disastrous effects. An example of that, if anybody's familiar with what happened in the city of Carson, where they had a former mayor that was voted off of council, but then came back and was voted in as the city clerk. Knew absolutely nothing about being a city clerk. As a matter of fact, created a hostile work environment within the city clerk's office in the city of Carson. It turned out to be a disaster for them. This is one of the reasons why I'm looking at supporting these positions as being appointed, because then we can start to set job specifications, qualifications for them, and then hire or appoint the best qualified person for the job. The same thing for the city treasurer. We're finding currently that we're having problems with our treasurer. But again, we need to make sure that the people that have these positions are qualified for the positions.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Chen, same question to you. Are you for or against measures J and Q, which change city treasurer and city clerk to appointed versus elected positions, and why?
I am in favor of it, and some of the reasons have been shared already, and I could give an example. One of the first things I did after I got elected, actually even before I got elected, I interviewed each of the department heads to better understand their job description, what they do. I actually went to the city treasurer's office to see what a day in the treasurer's office is, and I realized very quickly that based on the last election, each of those seats were run unopposed, and those are jobs that have very specific, I'll call it, technical skill and experience required, that a guy like me with an engineering degree could have potentially won a seat as a treasurer and not having the treasury technical skills, and all I have to do is hire a deputy who could do the work, and I could just let it run that way, and I'll just be the figurehead. So that is a potential loophole which I'd like to mitigate, and I believe, having someone hire, qualification, interview for a job that needs to get done. It's not so much a policy. There is some technical work those positions have to do, and I am in favor of an appointment position.
Okay, thank you both very much. I'm going to segue to a different topic that has a number of parts. And so the general topic, again with you, Councilmember Chen, is Torrance's current coyote management plan. Are you satisfied with our current management plan? And if not, what would you propose to improve upon it?
So for the record, I actually wanted to be more aggressive personally, because I looked at the coyote situation as urban predators, and I did not want Torrance to be the first city that would have an incident of a child being attacked, or a senior citizen, if you will. And the data we're monitoring, so I don't know, like, I'm not gonna give you a straight yes or no answer if I'm happy with the current one. But the current one that we're trapping, a few months out of the year during the mating season, we'll have to look at the data to see if they're getting into control or not. But my basic philosophy is that the urban coyotes in the South Bay here are the highest predators in the food chain. Left alone, it's simple math. Every time they have a litter, it multiplies. And as they capture the food sources from the smallest animal, and as they multiply, they will continue to go after the next available food source. And as they are being fed sometimes, whether they should or not, they become emboldened. Then they start not being afraid of human beings, regardless what you do with hazing. We do not live in Yosemite, we live in Torrance. So I believe this is the area where we have to control that type of uncontrolled wildlife. So the data would be see how well we're doing, but I was actually in favor of more aggressive year-round trapping, because you can't tell them when they're gonna do damage, right? They're wildlife. They're gonna do damage when they want to.
Thank you very much. Okay, Councilmember Rizzo, same question to you. Are you satisfied with Torrance's current coyote management plan? And if not, what do you propose?
Well, I'm kind of satisfied with the current plan as it is now, but we're going to be reviewing that plan come October to see if there needs to be any tweaks to it. I would say that I'm satisfied with it because this is the plan that I proposed, and it was as a result of the fact that I had a conversation with a gentleman who was a county commissioner in Fallon, Nevada, who has a background in UC Davis in wildlife management, and he made it very clear in my conversation that we would never be able to eradicate coyotes. We could only manage the populations. And to that vein, in trying to manage the populations here in the city of Torrance, the current plan does allow and does provide for year-round trapping. But what it does do differently is that it provides for a 5-month active trapping season. In other words, this is a season where we're going out and we're actively trapping coyotes in an effort to manage the population. After that 5-month season shuts down, we still trap coyotes, and we'll trap coyotes year-round. But we will trap them based on a threat level, and depending on if we have what we refer to as a bad actor who's getting particularly aggressive in an area, we'll go back out and we'll trap for that aggressive coyote. But again, I would agree with Councilman Chen's assessment that we need to take a look at it annually to see how is it working. Do we need to make any tweaks to it? But we also need to ensure that part of the plan is just not trapping the coyotes, but it's continuing to educate the public on how to mitigate their exposure to coyotes. And so it's a combination of actively going out and trapping for a period of time, trapping when needed, and continued education within the community.
Thank you very much. There are so many other really good questions here, but we have only time for, I think, one more question. There were multiple cards submitted that addressed concerns with the Beach City Health District's proposed healthy living campus. The questions range from, are you in favor of or opposed to this? And do you feel that the city of Torrance retains discretionary control over the streets that will bound this facility and the impact to those streets? I don't know that I can repeat that the second time around, but Councilmember Rizzo, did that make sense to you?
It makes sense to me because I've been intimately involved in discussions with the community project. As proposed, I'm opposed to the project. It is just simply too big in the neighborhood. And as a matter of fact, I've had some meetings with the CEO of the Beach Cities Health District, Tom Bakley, and expressed my displeasure with the project as proposed, and basically told him, go back to the drawing board. Your project's just too big. 608,000 square feet, 2/3 the size of the South Bay Galleria, sitting on top of a hill, the building's 60 feet tall, will completely destroy the quality and character of the neighborhoods in that surrounding area. Where we have discretionary control on the streets is, yes, we own Flagler. That's in the city of Torrance. As a matter of fact, we have 14 feet west of the west curb line of Flagler. This is where Beach Cities Health District is proposing putting in the entrance to their underground parking. We control that. If we don't provide that, the entitlements to them to do the curb cuts to put in their entrance, they don't have an entrance off of Flagler. Their entrances are going to have to be off of Redondo Beach, Burl or Diamond or wherever. That's problematic for them. So we do have that discretionary control, but we also have, our voice in our opposition to the project. As it stands now, I am opposed to it. They need to go back to the drawing board, and I'll continue to fight that project until they bring forward something that is acceptable to the surrounding community. Until that happens, I'll continue to fight that project.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Rizzo. Okay, Councilmember Chen, are you in favor of or opposed to the Beach City Health District's proposed healthy living campus, yes? And do you feel that the city of Torrance retains discretionary control over Flagler Lane with respect to this?
With respect to Flagler Lane, yes, we do. We have the authority, if you will, to give them the easement or not. So that is a lever. Very likely most folks will come to that. But I also want to share, I know that some folks have asked me this question already, just want to make sure. On the day when the Beach Cities Health District and their leadership votes, we do not get a vote. I just want to make sure you understand that. Torrance City Council Member Mayor does not get a vote on that. Some of the things I suggest we do is very similar to the Just Say No neighborhood, that whole group, that kind of campaign they have been doing. In addition to having a big banner like we see in the back there, is what I shared at the West Torrance HOA Candidates Forum. The neighborhood there, actually, a group of neighbors invited me to the home to discuss this topic. And there was a very, very well write-up dissecting the environmental analysis. And not only dissecting it, and not just telling someone, this is too big, go to the drawing board, but giving step-by-step rationale why each area is unsafe, whether it's building the 2-level subterranean parking that's going to cause the ground to start caving in, is providing step-by-step evidence, respectfully going to the council and sharing with them those kind of risks, and do it respectfully. Because then you provide data how it impacts safety in addition to quality of life. Because no one wants to build something that's going to cause safety problems to the residents of any city, because then there's liability. So.
Thank you very much. Okay, with that, I'd like to offer each of you an opportunity to take 2 minutes to wrap up, and if there's any message you'd like to share with the folks that are here regarding your proposal for your upcoming term, please do so. First, Councilmember Chen.
Thank you, Southwood Homeowners Association and fellow neighbors, for taking your time out tonight to attend this candidates forum. Thank you for all our hosts here, the leadership of the association. Tonight gave you an opportunity to determine who will be your elected representative in the years to come. One whose values most align with yours. Thank you for your trust in electing me last June. I've been working hard in representing what's best for you with respect to policy and financial decisions for the city. I will continue to apply my breadth of experience taking a vision and putting plan into action to create a vibrant future, not just for us, but for the next generation, so we'll be leaders in the 21st century community. I have the experience to put new ideas and technology into everyday use for a safer community. I have the vision to capture opportunity to bring in higher paying jobs into Torrance, such as creating a technical workforce for the newly established Space Force. Taking the opportunity to benefit by the upcoming 2028 Summer Olympic Games, which Los Angeles will be hosting, to not only create world-class athletes here, but generate revenue. This vision helps build Torrance of tomorrow, one that generates revenue, to fund services for our residents to have the quality of life we desire. Ask for your vote for District 2, Torrance City Councilman, March 2020. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Rizzo.
Thank you. Again, I'd like to thank the Southwood Homeowners Association for sponsoring this event and everyone that's here this evening. Thank you for your time and interest. As your current council member, I look forward to continuing to serve you and your concerns. I have the proven ability to confront tough issues head on. Most importantly, I have the integrity Torrance needs in a council member. If you ask anyone who knows me, whether through my work on the council, the planning commission, or the police department, I think they tell you I'm someone who listens first, gathers the facts, and uses reason to guide my decision. We need leaders who can see the big picture and make pragmatic, principled decisions. I've been living and working in Torrance my whole life, and I've personally met many of you. Your passion for our way of life has inspired me to remain on the council and continue to serve your needs. My father was a decorated World War II veteran who sacrificed much to raise his family here. He taught me the importance of giving back. Having dedicated my life to serving you, you have taught me that the rewards of a stronger community and safer families make it worthwhile. I've been honored with the support of many current and former elected officials, community leaders, and the brave men and women of the Torrance Police and Fire Associations. Please visit my website to see why they believe I'm the strongest candidate. And on March 3rd, join them to vote for Jeff Rizzo for Torrance City Council, District 2. For more information on how you can help, please go to my website at www.rizzo4council.com. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank you all for taking the time to come here this evening, participate in this. You've been an exceptional audience. There were many questions that we did not get a chance to pose, but we're going to have an opportunity now to spend a little time informally with the candidates. So if you had a burning question that we didn't get to ask, we can do so afterwards. I think we have to, we're not going to take, sir, I don't think, just general Q&A at this point. And I'd like you to please